right, welcome back in Eagles Syndicate family. Hope you guys are having a happy Tuesday or whenever you are seeing this video. Today I want to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. The draft is right around the corner in a first round target that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about, and that is Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. Now, I know that a lot of people haven't been talking about Loveland because quite frankly, most mocks have him going before the Philadelphia Eagles are up to pick. But I just did a mock draft yesterday that had Loveland fall to Philly, and I sat and thought about it for about 3 seconds, and I said, this feels like a no-brainer pick. So if the NFL draft does happen to fall that way, where guys like Emeka Egbuka, Matthew Golden, Omarion Hampton are the skill position players that are taken instead of a Loveland, and Loveland falls to 32 to Philly, why should they take him? Well, Dallas Goedert's on the last year of his deal, and pretty basically, the team has all but said that they are going to be looking to trade Dallas Goedert. Nick Sirianni came out and said he's on our team right now. There's been all these rumors. He is available for trade as he enters the last year of his deal. Why is the team moving off of Goedert? Quite frankly, you paid Jalen Hurts, you paid Saquon Barkley, you paid A.J. Brown, you paid Devonta Smith, you paid the offensive line. That's your offensive core. Wide receiver 3, a tight end, those are positions that the Eagles feel is replaceable through the draft. And through the draft, the Eagles could certainly draft a second or third round tight end, absolutely. But if Colston Loveland falls to Philly at pick 32, I think they have to jump all over it. This is a guy who could come into your offense and immediately fill the Dallas Goedert role and immediately produce for your football team. That is something that I think is a little underrated when it comes to a team at the back end of the draft or a team like Philly that's looking to go back-to-back in Super Bowls. Can they draft a guy in the first round that will immediately make an impact? Yes, they could draft an offensive tackle that's going to be the replacement for Lane Johnson, that if there's an injury, he'll get in the lineup. Yes, they could draft a defensive tackle to take over the Moro Ojomo role and be a third string guy and play on a couple of downs here and there in a game. But if Colston Loveland can make it to 32, or the Eagles decide that they want to trade up to 30, from 32 to wherever they feel that they can get Loveland, and they can bring this guy in, he can immediately fill Dallas Goedert's role. Last year, Dallas Goedert, obviously he missed some time, but 42 catches for 500 yards and 2 touchdowns. You map that out for if he had played a full season, you're looking at about 700 yards, 4 touchdowns, maybe 60 catches, 60 to 70. I think Loveland could come in and produce that immediately. Loveland, a 6'5" tight end, 245 pounds, a real vertical threat. Didn't have the greatest season last year at Michigan as they had their quarterback woes, but 2 years ago with J.J. McCarthy, 45 catches for 649 yards and 4 touchdowns. Obviously, in college, they play less games. But the big thing for me was with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, Loveland averaged nearly 15 yards per catch. Loveland is a vertical threat. And while tight end isn't traditionally thought of as this big play position, the Philadelphia Eagles do not, I don't want to say rely, but their offense is set up for their tight end to potentially break off big plays. You think about the Dallas Goedert play versus the New Orleans Saints that virtually won us that game. You think about Dallas Goedert in the playoffs, that play versus the Green Bay Packers in which he just bulldozed their team. There is plenty of opportunities when you're in an offense that has A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley to get lost in the shuffle. And if we are moving on from Goedert because of the money, Loveland is a guy who can come in and immediately, if he is lost in the defensive shuffle, make a huge play. He's got the size to be a red zone threat, absolutely. And he's got some speed on him. I'm not sitting here telling you he's the fastest guy in the board, but this is a guy who, again, when he gets the ball in space, can produce for Philadelphia. And the big thing for me is, at pick 32, how many immediate impact players are you going to get if you're Philly? We'll see who's on the board. But if Loveland's there, I have a hard time believing there is another player on the board that will play as many snaps as Loveland and could have as much of an impact on winning games as Loveland for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, taking a tight end in round 1, not necessarily Howie's thing. He likes to focus on the trenches, so maybe it's just a pipe dream. But would you, If you were up at pick 32 and Colston Loveland is still on the board and you're the Eagles, do you consider taking him? Do you run the pick in? Do you not even consider it? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you love the Philadelphia Eagles and you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that button. I appreciate your guys' support. I will catch you guys Thursday for another video. Peace.